stand up. Everybody stand up real quick. What are you trying to do?
Who wants to do jumping jacks?
Let's go Walmart.
I'm wearing the wrong shoes for this.
Yeah, Megan, you probably aren't gonna be able to do this.
We'll worry a bit.
Alright, we're gonna do 5 quick jumping jacks. Ready? Go. Come on, Steve. 5 jumping jacks. For what?
My phone.
Get your energy going.
Oh, it's
Alright,
fine.
look at the person next to you.
Huh?
Look at the person next to you, everybody, and say, "You don't control my destiny."
You don't control my destiny.
Look at the person on the other side of
You
you,
don't control my destiny.
and say, "Your wife does."
Your wife does.
Your wife does. That's kind of really
All right,
weird.
Let's get going here, guys.
He's
All
doing
right,
it against.
real quick.
And he's videotaping everything.
Real quick, I want to recap our 713 meeting. We talked about attitude, defining your goals, really setting them up, writing them down, getting a buddy system, and a written goal with a plan is what we talked about on our 713 meeting. So, how many of you put a buddy system together to help keep yourself in check, rather? You got a buddy?
God,
No?
not really.
John? Scott, did you pick somebody out?
Yeah, I spoke to Randy about this.
Okay, so you picked somebody else. Steve, did you? So one person out of the entire meeting said they're gonna have somebody help them keep themselves in check.
Yeah, Randy spoke about it. Yeah, I kind of get with everybody on that. I don't know.
Okay.
Because Randy's so obscure, he needs more than
Okay, so what's the purpose of a buddy system, Scott?
Just kind of keep your attitude in check.
Keep
You know,
your attitude-
well, here, let me give you an example.
Okay.
If I'm down or something, Randy comes up to me and says, "Hey, it's one deal. Move on to the next one. You know, get your mind right. You know,
Okay.
something like that." And that's kind of what me and Randy talked about.
Okay. So the buddy system is designed to when you start going down a path that we shouldn't be going down, right? Our attitude starts sinking because maybe we had 2 or 3 rough deals in a row, things didn't necessarily go our way. Our friend is supposed to come up to us and say, "Hey man, come on, the next deal's the deal. Let's go, get your head in the game." It's supposed to be a little checks and balance system to keep us motivated and go in the right direction. Obviously we all know and we preach at almost every meeting that attitude controls everything. Your attitude is the single most important thing that you can bring to work with you every day. Goals. Okay, so at the beginning of the year we sat down and I know each one of your personal goals. We're a little over halfway, we're 7 months into the year now. I would say, are we on track for our goals? Are we?
yes.
So your personal goals you're still on track for, which is a good thing. What about professional goals? As I've analyzed your 90-day trend sheets and we looked at it, the one nice thing is as I look at everybody's pretty much moving in a upward motion. Randy, your 90-day average is 16 units. Your goal for the month is 18. Are you on track for that?
No.
No? Okay. But the good news is what? You have 8 selling days left. We have 8 days left. And hopefully you got some things working that we can get wrapped up. Beamer, you got a 90-day average of 12. Your goal is 15. You on track?
2 good a day, I'm getting close.
Okay. So the 2 pop today, we're right on track. Steve, your 90-day average is 9. Your goal is 13. You on track?
Yeah.
You are? So you got 9, 10 delivered right now, so I would say you're on track. That's a good job. And then Scott, 90-day average is 10. Again, goal of 13. And I would say you're probably on track too with 8 units delivered. So, written goals, one of the interesting statistics as I kind of studied this out that I wanna bring up. 94% of goals are achieved when they are written down. 94% of your goals are achieved just by writing them down and putting an action plan in place. But again, the question becomes, how many of you will actually write your goals down? That's the real question. So, that's just to recap our last meeting. That purple's not wanting to race real good. So, getting into this meeting, selling is a transfer of what? Jason, what is selling a transfer of?
A transfer of, what do you mean?
Goods or services.
Selling is a transfer of what? This is JVTN 101. What? Selling in general is a transfer of what? Selling is a transfer of emotion. Selling is a transfer of emotion or feeling. So the reason why I kind of highlighted that and I wanted to talk about that today is, you know, in the world we're in right now and the way that we're advertising all of our cars, you know, we're completely digital, no newspaper, no print, none of that stuff. It's very easy to put price as one of your main targets, main objectives, right? Very easy to do that. But the reality is, most people do not buy on price. Most people buy off of emotion. And where does that process start for us? Jeff, where's that process start?
Second contact, how you contact.
From our meet and greet,
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
If we meet and greet our customers with our hands in our pockets, not making eye contact with glasses on, what are we gonna do? We're setting the stage for a bad experience for that customer. But if we greet them, welcome to Fury Chrysler, I'm Matt and you are? Randy, nice to meet you. Enthusiasm, firm handshake, welcome them to our store. Not, hey, can I help you? That's not professional, that's not the way we do this. It's not the way you're trained to do it. But I still hear it, right? We need to get into a habit of professionally welcoming people to our store. Welcome to Fury Chrysler, I'm Matt, you are. What brought you in today? Great. Selling is a transfer of emotion. You know, another statistic that I like is I didn't write it down, so I'm sorry. But another statistic that I like is, oh no, I did write it down. I'm sorry, I forgot to pass these out this year. 71% of people bought because they liked the salesperson they worked with. 71% bought because they liked the salesperson they're dealing with. 71%, so 7 out of 10 people bought because they liked their salesperson. How do you make a customer like you? That's really the key, right? How do we make somebody like us? Build rapport. Okay. So we can say build some rapport. Name one of the most important skills involved in selling. Steve, I mean one important skill that's involved in selling. One of the most important ones.
Enthusiasm is what I feel.
So enthusiasm, I'll put that up there. These are not numbered in any specific order. Okay, what else? Give me another one. Listening.
Professionalism.
Okay. What else? Attitude. Okay. Give me another one. Knowledge. Okay. Okay. So right there is 5 things that you guys all put up there. I don't believe there's none more important than listening. Listening is probably your key factor in selling. You have to listen to what the customers will tell you. The customers will tell you guys how to sell them a car. We have to listen to that customer. John Beamer, will the customers tell you how to sell them a car? How?
By when you're fact finding or gathering your information on them, they'll tell you what's important to them.
Okay. How else, Steve? How else will a customer tell you how to sell them a car?
How else?
Yeah, how else?
Well, they'll tell you what they need in a vehicle, what they want in a vehicle. It helps you find the right vehicle if you listen to them.
Okay. Listening is one of the key things that we need to practice, we need to work on, right? A lot of times salespeople want to hear themselves talk. They wanna get into a product knowledge dump, they wanna get into selling the vehicle, they wanna start putting on the hot buttons and, getting the customer to feel the car and get excited about that, which is all important stuff, we have to do those things. But you have to let the customer tell you how to sell them a car. You have to listen to the customer's wants, you have to listen to their needs. You have to identify what it's gonna take to sell that customer a car. If you can't do that, your process is gonna be extremely difficult. So, now I wanna name and explain the steps in our sale. Randy, what's step one?
Meet and greet.
What are we trying to accomplish in our meet and greet?
Find out about, well,
Good first impression.
Okay, a good first impression, what else?
Welcome to the store,
Welcome to the store,
find out their name,
okay,
and set the pace for everything.
set the tone for the rest of the deal. John Beamer, what's step two?
Find out if they've talked to anybody else.
Okay, yeah, that's part of your meet and greet. Fact find. So we want to fact find. What are we trying to accomplish in a fact find, Mark? Quick.
Why they're here, who they're here to see, what kind of vehicle that they're gonna be looking for, what the purposes are, what they're gonna be using it for, who the driver is, if there's anybody else, there, it's not there to make a decision, who's all the buyers.
Okay, so meet and greet. We want to set the tone for the deal. Welcome them to our store. Show some enthusiasm. Fact find. We want to find out what drove them to come into our store today. We want to find out who the drivers are, what the purpose of the vehicle is going to be used for. Are they looking for 2-door, 4-door, automatic stick, moonroof, no moonroof, leather, cloth, family vehicle, sport vehicle? What is their purpose of buying? What is their motivations of buying? What's step number 3, Jason?
The demo.
Nope. Jeff, what's step 3? Selection.
Do the demo.
Okay, so what are we trying to do with selection? Why is it important to select the right vehicle?
Well, it's everything to the rest of the deal. If you're not selecting the right vehicle for the customer, then
But how do you
Nothing else.
select? How do you select the right vehicle?
in your fact find and you're listening.
By listening to the customer. The customer's going to tell you how to
That's
select the
step
right
2.
car.
That's part of step 2. It goes right into step
Right back
3.
to listening,
Yeah.
right? The meet and greet, the fact find. The meet and greet's when we're welcoming to our store. We're talking, right? We're bringing them in. Fact find, we're asking a question, but we're listening to what the answers are, because that's going to set us up to select the proper vehicle. Selection is key. Selection is key. If somebody's looking for a sports car and you start showing them a minivan, you're probably going down the wrong path.
Or they've already been capped.
Probably going down the wrong path. So, after selection, what do we do, Scott?
That.
Fab. Okay? Explain what fab is.
Benefits, features and benefits of the car.
Features, advantages, and benefits, right?
Yes.
Our features are what? What the car has to offer.
Something.
The advantages are
What they do
what
for
that
you.
feature does for you.
what it is, what it does.
And the benefits are
Why it matters.
why it matters, what it applies to them, right?
Yep.
Why our car stands out. Okay. Number 5, Jason, you said number 5 already. Demo. What are we trying to accomplish with the demonstration drive? Steve, what are we trying to accomplish with the demo drive?
Get them physically involved, driving the vehicle.
What are we doing during this demo drive?
Listen, quiet.
Listening. Listening.
Riding.
We're listening to the customers. We may ask some yes questions, get our guns loaded, right? We gotta ask a bunch of yes questions to get yeses. But our demo drive should primarily be what? Listening, silent. Let the customers feel comfortable. How do we make them comfortable in that car during that test drive?
Set the seats, the radio.
We set the seats comfortable for them. We set the seatbelt adjust, right? There's nothing more annoying than that seatbelt cutting into our neck, right? That's one of the most simple things you can do to make that customer feel comfortable. Because I can't tell you, when I jump into a car and start driving and I throw my seatbelt on and that thing's cutting into my neck, how annoying that is to me. But when I get in there, I adjust that seatbelt, I get the seat right, the lumbar right, the steering wheel right, I feel pretty good in that car. Even if I've not driven one, I feel pretty comfortable. We gotta make sure the customers are comfortable. Another thing to find out is, how do they like the temperature in their car? Do they like it hot? We're not trying to make the car comfortable for us. We're trying to make the car comfortable for the customer. So even if you're not comfortable, that's okay. We want them to be. So if they like it freezing cold, crank that cold, crank it cold. If they like it hot, I like it warm. When Jason's riding with me, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating to death. But the reality is everybody likes things differently. Your job is to make the customer feel most at home in that car. How do you make them feel most at home? Make them comfortable. Set the climate right. Get the seats right. Set the steering wheel, the seat belt. We have a job to do. The job is to sell the car to the customer. To sell the car to the customer, we have to listen to what they're telling us to sell it. But one of the most important things to do in the demo drive is to make them comfortable. Make sure they can see over the wheel. Make sure the seat belt's right. Make sure all those things are lined up. Because when you do those things, that customer feels comfortable driving that car. Comfortable. After the demo drive, what do we got, Mark?
Try to close.
Trial close. Tell me about trial close.
Well, I think there's a lot of little yes questions that go along with
There's a
that.
ton of yes questions, but what's the biggest thing we're trying to do? Obviously, we have our landmark close.
Right.
We have our landmark close. We tell them to pull on the sold line, right?
Sold.
We're controlling the deal there. What's the biggest thing we're trying to accomplish with our trial close?
Find out if there's anything that they don't like about the vehicle, what's gonna hold you back, your stumbling blocks.
Randy, it seems like we found you the perfect car. Is there anything about this vehicle you didn't like? When I'm asking a customer, right, most salespeople aren't gonna ask that. Is there anything about this car you did not like? We're flat out asking the customer, is there anything they don't like? Why am I doing that? Scott, the reality is if there's an objection, it's there. We're either gonna know it and control it, or we're not, and we're not gonna know how to control the deal. We're not gonna know what objections we have to overcome. So if I say to you, Scott, is there anything about this car you did not like? And you tell me the tires are marginal, right? Other than the tires, is there anything you didn't like about this car? Great, seems like we found you the perfect car. If I could make terms and conditions agreeable, you'd certainly own it today, wouldn't you? That is a trial close. I am trial closing that customer at this point. I'm giving that a trial run to find out if I can funnel that down. Our process doesn't stop here though. This isn't where if they say yes, this isn't where we run in and start doing our write-ups, right? Because we have what? We have an emotional roller coaster the customer's on. They come in, they're down at the bottom. We build them up through fact finding, demoing the car, they're excited. You know, they come back, you're asking them to buy, they're at the bottom of that level now. You've asked them to commit. Our job is to take that back up. Yet so many salespeople want to run back in and get to the write-up. The write-up should just be a function of delivering the car, right? Our job is to build build the value back up. Our value has to outweigh the price. When the value doesn't outweigh the price, that's when it comes to a bidding war, right? Jason, what's our average discount on a used car right now?
Like $800 or $2.
It's about 500.
Well, it's been running about $600 some dollars, okay? So we don't have thousands of dollars to play with, right? So if you come in here and you're at a low, you're putting the customer in a position where they're just wanting to see value. Give me value, or I'm sorry, give me price, give me price, give me price. Our job is to show them value. So from trial close, we do what? Jason, what do we do after trial close?
Parts and service.
Why do we want to do a parts and service walk? What good does it do us?
Build them back up, build value in the dealership.
Build some value in the dealership, right? It lets them know when you have a problem. If they're buying a new or used car, the reality is, John, they're going to have problems with this car at some point in time, right? Something's going to break. Cars are made to break. They're going to break. If manufacturers could build a perfect car, they wouldn't. Why wouldn't they? They wouldn't be selling any more. So they're going to break. If you set them up with parts and service and they walk back and you say, Steve, I want to introduce you to Ralph. Ralph will be here to take care of you when you have an issue. Not if, when.
Right.
Customers know that things are going to break. They've all owned cars. I've owned cars. Heck, my wife blew out a tire the other day, a couple weeks ago. Things happen with a car. No matter how new or how well you maintain them, things happen. But when they know there's a nice smiling face that they can come walking into, it makes the deal that much better. It builds the value up in the services that we provide. Every dealership does it, but not every dealership tells what they do. So if we go back there and we say, guys, guess what? We have a night drop box. If you can't get your car in for service during normal business hours, you come in, fill out this envelope, put your keys in it, throw it through the slot. We'll get to the car first thing in the morning and we'll call you and find out if there's anything else you'd like us to do on it. We'll provide you a general inspection. We'll let you know what's going on with your car. You start telling your people this, Every other dealership does it, but how many tell their customers what they do?
And take mental ownership.
They start taking mental ownership. When you bring your car in for service, what am I doing there? Jason, what am I doing when I say when you bring your car in for service?
Closing. Taking control.
I'm telling the customer they're buying the car, right?
Right.
I'm giving them ownership of it. When you bring your vehicle into service to me, Randy, here's where you're gonna bring it. And the customer knows, okay, this is where I'm gonna come for service. They start taking mental ownership. Oh, okay, this is Ralph. This is who I'm gonna be dealing with. Oh, he's a nice guy. Here's Kelly, here's Mike, here's John Phillips. They're all smiling faces. Right? After parts and service walk, what do?
Manager intro.
Okay, manager intro we kind of use as a floating thing, but let's throw it in there.
That's what I like.
Okay, we want to get involved in the deal as quickly as possible, right? As soon as possible. The earlier you get us involved in the deal, the better. I leave it as a floating one because not every time is it going to be you're going to be able to do it before your fact finding or after your fact finding. But again, manager intro needs to be done somewhere preliminary to negotiations. So prior to negotiations, we want to get a manager involved in this deal. So the manager intro, right? That's something just as simple as, Randy, thank you so much for stopping in today. Steve do a good job answering all your questions? Thumbs up. Yeah, he did. Great. Wonderful. Steve's gonna go ahead and get this wrapped up for you. Again, I'm now telling you.
Right.
Steve's gonna get this wrapped up for you. What else are we trying to do?
Hot or cold.
Would you like something hot or cold to drink while we wrap this up?
Still closing.
There's another close. Just one more. You want something hot? Jason, you want something hot or cold to drink while we wrap this up? No, I'm good. What did they just commit to doing?
Right. Wrapping it up, but don't let us lose drink.
Right. Okay. So what's next?
Negotiation.
Write up.
Right up.
This should just be a formality. Write up should just be a formality. You pull out your sheets, you get your stuff done, you start going through the process, we do our trade appraisals, we do all that stuff. Write up should just be nothing more than a formality. Right? We build our value up, we show the customer what our proposition is. Not only do we price our cars to the market, we have service to offer, they're buying from me, right? Customer has to what? Like me,
Listen, move.
listen, believe, then buy. So the customer has to LLBB, like me. How do they like me? They're gonna like me because they're gonna know that I care because I'm listening to their wants and needs. I'm showing them a vehicle that's gonna fit their wants and needs. They're gonna listen to me when they realize I'm listening to them. Two things go back to listening. They like me because I listen to them. They're gonna listen to me because I listen to them. Now I'm showing them things that they wanted. They're going to believe me because I'm highlighting all their wants, their needs, their hot buttons. They're then gonna be able to buy from me. Like, listen, believe, buy. That is the customer's buying cycle, right? They have to like their salesperson before they'll go to the next step. If they don't like you,
You're done.
what's that thing that I just said?
71%.
71% bought because they like their salesperson. 71% bought because they like their salesperson. If they don't like you, they're not gonna listen to you. If they're not gonna listen to you, they're not gonna believe you. And if they don't believe you, they're definitely not gonna buy from you. Right? 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Customer buying cycles, like, listen, believe, buy. This has to wrap into ours. So we have our write-up. Then what, Randy?
T of finance.
Negotiation.
Oh.
We have our negotiation. Right? We have our form that we go through. We ask for 20% down. We have short-term cash and we have short-term accelerated financing options. We go through there. We get our commitment. We get the deal wrapped up. Then what? Negotiate.
Finance.
TO to finance. What is a proper TO to finance?
All your paperwork being together, Mark comes out, gets them, shakes their hand.
All your paperwork being put together. What else? Mark, or Megan, what's another proper way to do a TO to finance? Sales guys' paperwork all being together, but what else?
Introducing them.
Introducing to them, okay? Letting them know that Megan or Mark's gonna have some products to go over with you. You know, guys, we're gonna get this deal all buttoned up. Megan and Mark are gonna have a few products to go over with you. They'll get you taken care of. We'll get you in and out of here. What is it, how long is a typical delivery? 45 minutes. Can somebody buy a car from start to finish in 20 minutes?
No.
No. When a customer says I need to be out of here in 20 minutes, is it possible for us to get a deal done in 20 minutes?
Unless it's cash.
I mean, unless it's a cash deal, right? We have, you guys all know what we have to go through to get a deal done, right? Input their information, do OFAC checks, submit it to the bank, get approvals, get their paperwork together, put our menu together, get them in the office, and then our delivery should take 20 to 30 minutes. Our delivery of the car should take that. So TO to finance, then what?
Delivery.
Delivery. Why do we want to deliver the car? Is a good delivery? Here's your keys, buddy. Thanks for your business.
Well, make sure they're comfortable in their car, they know all their radios preset, the clock's preset, the mirrors are set.
But now you've already done that doing your walk around. Get touching the hot button, so why do it again?
Well, you just wanna make sure that you actually set the radio, that the clock's actually set, not just showing how it works. but
Have you set a
actually
couple of their radio stations?
Right, right.
Okay. John Beamer, what do you do with all your customers that I love that I don't see anybody else do?
Well, I'm out of them, but I've been giving everybody a little notebook.
Little notebook, a little memo pad notebook.
Put
So-
a card on the front with my name, card on the back with Ralph's name.
Service and sales contact. And what do you tell them? You're going to have questions.
If you have any questions, write them down.
When you come up with a question, write it down. I'm going to follow up with you in a couple of days. When I follow up with you, I will go through and answer all your questions. Should you need anything in the meantime, come in and see me. I'll help you out. I love that. How many times does somebody get to a store and they're like, man, how do I preset this? Or how do I use my navigation? How do I connect my Bluetooth again? Cars are getting complicated. That is an awesome way to build a relationship with your customer. Awesome way for them to remember you, which our goal is always to what? I mean, obviously we want the customers to like us, but our goal is always what? Generate repeats and referrals. Our odds at selling them increase how much?
40%.
40%, how much?
43.
43, you say?
I know it's more than that.
It's
It is.
40%, but it's 78% closing ratio.
Your odds increase a bunch, guys, on repeat referrals. You're 60% more likely to sell a repeated referral than you are a fresh up at 20-some%, right? Maybe even lower than that if they don't come in off the internet and they're just walking in and kick tires. So delivery. We have one more step.
Follow up.
Follow up. Again, we're going to go over this here in 1 second, but as I studied this out, most of their salespeople, after they sold a car, never follow up with their customers. That to me is ridiculous.
90%?
We'll go through the percentages here in a second, but most salespeople, most of the time somebody buys a car, they don't remember who they bought the car off of. So when they come in here and you guys say, that's my customer, and they don't remember who you are, you didn't do your job. Shame on you. And if you haven't contacted them in 6 months, our rules are it's the fresh up, it's the next person up. Hopefully they'll do a better job. So we talked about this earlier. Are you on target? Yes or no? If the answer is no, you guys all have your track sheets that we give you, right? That we go over when we set your goals up every month. When we set these goals up based on your trends, you know, we only look for maybe 2 to 3 unit improvement every month, and we talk about how we're going to get there. But when we go over these trends, how many opportunities? Can you guys honestly say how many opportunities you were in front of? And by opportunities, I mean how many ups did you have? How many service customers did you talk to? How many people did you prospect? Right? Because it's not just about how many people we talk to out here. If you truly want to get good at your business, you need to know your business. How many opportunities did we have? How many demos did we go on? How many write-ups? How many turnovers? There's 4 extremely important things that you guys need to know to manage your business effectively. If you don't know those, I don't know how you grow it. You can't measure what you don't, you can't grow what you don't measure, I should say. If you're not measuring it, you can't grow it. If you don't know where your weaknesses are, we can't develop it. Define closing. Jeff, tell me what closing means to you.
Why are you?
I mean, it's everything that we've done prior to that same, or then basically.
So closing's not a
No,
closing's not a
it's a
question?
process.
Closing's a process, okay? So what does it mean to you? What does closing mean to you?
sale forward.
Okay, so moving the sale forward. Sorry for my writing. So moving the sale forward. Closing is a process, as Jeff said, which is true. What else? What else is closing?
Giving a confirmation each time you move it.
Getting confirmations. What else?
Meeting their wants and needs.
Okay, meeting wants and needs. There's one more that I'm looking for that hasn't been said yet.
Reinforcing everything that's been said and done so far.
Okay, reinforcing everything that's been said and done, that's closing. What else? What else? Mark?
Once you've gotten everything, I think it pretty much just has to fit in their budget, once you've got the right vehicle.
Okay, so it's gotta fit in their budget, I agree, that's closing.
Earning their trust.
Earning their trust. Earning their trust is a huge thing in closing. Earning their trust is gonna set you guys up for repeat, referral, when you call that customer to do your follow-up calls, right? Our step 13, our follow-up. When we call our customers to do our follow-up, we've earned the right to ask them, who in your family is gonna be next to own a car? If we don't do a good job with these customers, we haven't earned the right. But again, remember, this is our process. Customers have their own process. Another quick thing I want to put up there. I got 2 examples for you. Example 1. The salesperson from January to December sold 95 units. He averaged 10.66. That's what his 90-day average would be. Salesperson 2 sold 122. Which salesperson do you guys want to be?
122.
So you want to be the 122.
95.
You want to be the 95. Why do we want to be the 95?
Constantly improving,
Constantly improving. Who do I want on my staff?
constantly improving.
I want the 95 guy on my staff. Why? This guy's all over the board. The 122 guy's all over the board. 16 car month, 10 car, 12 car, 7 car, 12 car, 9. What do you think this guy's attitude is?
Shoot.
His attitude is real high when he's up here. His attitude's real high up here, but how low do you think his attitude is when he has a bad month? But yet you have this guy that's steady Eddie, that came on board, new salesperson, did 5 cars, 6 cars, 7, 8, 10, 11, 11. This to me is going to be a sustainable 20 car guy. I got to develop him. I got to pull out his skill sets, his habits, his attitudes. It's my job to develop this guy and make sure his trend continues to go up. This guy, I'm sure going to try to develop, but that guy, statistically, is going to be the one that brings the team down. When he has a bad month, he's going to be the one that's poisoning everybody else. He's going to be the spinner. He's going to be the guy outside saying, oh man, we don't have enough ups coming on the line. Oh man, we don't have this. Oh man, we don't have that. So I would rather have the 95 car guy on my team. Constantly improving, constantly developing. Attitude's always going to be good because he's showing consistent improvement. That was just a little thing I want to throw up to get some of your guys' input on what we want. But trend lines are so important. Trend lines tell you what expectations are out of somebody, what you can expect to get. This guy, his 90-day average is 7.33. The 122 car guy's average is 7.33. This guy's average is 10.66. Who are my odds better with? The 10.66 guy. He sold me more cars, but he probably also caused me more headache, more grief, more everything else. Remember, guys, the one thing in sales is somebody is always going to have to lead that sale, almost like dancing, right? When you go to dance, stand up with me, Randy. Yeehaw! Renee, let's dance.
Oh, man's leading.
So, clearly, if he just puts his head on my shoulder and we stand there, that's not dancing.
We want you to take lead.
Right. Somebody has to lead that sale. If we don't lead, we don't dance. You can sit down. Thank you. Thank you for the hug this morning.
Twirl me around.
You'll either lead the customer through our process, keeping in mind they have to like you, number one, which is accomplished through our meet and greet and fact finding. Then they'll listen to you. Then they'll believe you. Then buy from you. You got to keep the customer's buying cycle in mind through our process. We can't be robots, guys. Right? We're all smart enough to know that we can't be robots, but we have to understand that the buying cycle of a customer is one of the most key things that we have to focus on. Like, listen, believe, buy. If they don't like you, they what, Steve?
Don't listen.
Okay? Listen comes back to listening, which is key. So we'll do that. So telling is not selling. When you tell somebody something, that's not selling. Right? We've got to show them. Show them that we care. Somebody wants to see that we care more than we tell them that we care. Right? We could be a dealership that advertises all over the place. We this, we that, we're the best place to buy the car. Best prices, best people, best this. How many ads do we hear about? All over the place. Radio, TV. We got the best prices, the best service, the best cars, the best selection. We're this, we're that. Every dealership does that. The key is to show them that you care more than you're telling them that you care. All right, a couple things that I printed out that I want to go over with you guys real quick. Randy, Mark, Jason, Megan, Steve, John Beamer, Jeff, Winston. Okay, this is all good reading material. A couple things that I wanna just hit on. Number 2 is what we said a couple times already. 71% of people bought because they like their salesperson. Pretty important to me to make sure we make a good first impression, guys. All right. Number 5, 63% have no intentions of buying their next vehicle from the same salesperson or dealership where they bought their last vehicle, and that's no surprise. 90% were never contacted after buying their vehicle, about buying another vehicle. We never called them. We failed. We never called that customer after they bought their vehicle and said, who's going to be next in your family to own a vehicle? 82% can't remember their salesperson's name a year later. 1 year after they purchased the vehicle, they don't remember your name. Our CRM sets us up for how many follow-ups within the first year? 3 months, 3 day, 7 day, 30 day, 45. We should be contacting our, there's no reason for a customer not to remember our name. Their birthdays, the holidays, then jumping down to number 9, more great news. The average family will purchase 36 vehicles in their family over their life. 36 vehicles. So, man, if I build a relationship with Randy, which we know Randy buys more, is going to buy more than 36 cars, but the average family buys 36 cars. I build a relationship with him and his family, and they remember me, and they know I care. I've got 36 opportunities to sell cars. Pretty cool. Next page. How many hot prospects are there per month? Do the math. Okay, so what I want to do is jump down to the bottom of the page where it says do the math. I did the math there. I want you guys to write this down. We have 325 customers in our service department every month. That's the average RO that we write. It's 325. We have 5,400 previous customers in our database. That's people we sold, customers we've done business with, that are in our database. 5,400 customers. So that totals 5,725 total people. Times 30%, we have 1,717 hot prospects who will buy within 90 days, if not from us, from a competitor. That's pretty eye-opening to me. You have 1,700 customers that they're either directly in the market, their wife's in the market, their kid's in the market, whatever, that are going to buy a car. 1,700 customers based on our database that's in the market right now to buy a car. Okay, turn that page. Skills that affect gross. Selling the vehicle and or raising the gross involves each of the 3 core selling skills that you have. Okay? 1, they have to stop thinking price is most important. It isn't. And they have to stop bringing it up even when the customer doesn't. How many times do we say to a customer, I want to get you the best price, I want to get you the best price? We allow price to be our dictator of all of that, which it's not. okay? They have to know how to bypass price with questions to move the conversations away from price to get it to features and benefits. Jason, can you see if you can have that going on? When they close, they have to ask the right questions, rephrase, price the budget. When they get a price concern or objection, right? That goes back to what? Rephrase, isolate, close, right? We're gonna rephrase their objection. Isolate, rephrase, and close. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Rephrase, isolate, close.
Yep, we're gonna clarify their objection, isolate it, rephrase it, and close on it. They have to understand assumptive closing, silent walkarounds on trade-ins. How many of us do silent walkarounds on trade-ins? We keep talking about it, but are we actually going out and just touching the car? You say every
Take
time?
them out with me.
Scott, I see your head on a nozzle saying yes. Okay.
I think everybody pretty much does.
Okay. Well, that's good because that
There's
helps
some-
us.
Maybe
That
it's,
helps us control what we're doing there.
don't say nothing, but, always.
No, we don't wanna say, that's what silent is. Now it's time, they have to know the final either or, final closing questions and move inside the table. Guys, this is some really good reading, right? I highlighted a lot of the stuff on here. Closing is not an event, it is a process, that's one of the things I highlighted. Understand customer process, how's our process going to fit the customer's buying cycle? Getting that customer to like us, getting them to believe us, getting them to listen to us. All those things are important to move that deal forward, right? Understand rephrasing, isolate, and closing. That is one of the biggest things that you guys can do. When the customer says, the car's too much, but they're financing, what they're really saying is it's not fitting into my budget. We gotta rephrase that into a budget close. So Scott, what you're telling me then is basically the payment's too high. If I can maybe get the term a little bit longer, get this to fit better into your budget, we could wrap this up today, couldn't we? We didn't create a price objection. So it's important to understand these things. When a customer feels valued is when they'll spend more with you. It's when your negotiation is just a formality. Your value has to outweigh the price. And if we don't do all these things right, our value's not gonna do that. We have to do a good job of that. So here's the good news. We have 8 selling days left, like I said at the beginning of this. All the things we talked about in here will give us the opportunity to do the next 8 days. We can put our best game on, our very best. Track every customer, give everybody the best presentation, demonstration, walk around, all those things, right? If we do those things, our numbers are all gonna jump. The guys that aren't on track are gonna get on track. The guys that are already on track are gonna go blow past their goals. They're gonna blow past their goals. So, again, I want you guys to remember this. Zig Ziglar said it. 94% of goals that are written down are obtained. 94%. How important is your goal to you? That's what I want to leave you with. So, next I want to just open it up real quick. Randy, any questions, comments, concerns? John Beamer, you got anything? Jeff, you need anything? Got anything?
Good.
You're good? Scotty? Good. Jason? Megan? Mark?
Well thought out meeting.
Steve? Okay. Megan, you wanna kind of give everybody a recap of what you've been doing, what I had you read the other day?
You had me read that book, it was Doubling Your Profit with 90 Days. This is where he got these statistics from. It was kind of shocking the little things that you can do that'll make big changes. In there does a bunch of math for you that if you follow up with your customers and you get X amount of them to actually come back in, the percentage of that actually is easier to close on, and what that does for not only your numbers but for the gross for the whole store is just kind of shocking in the amount that just those little things that you do are going to make that big of a difference. The statistics on just the follow-up, was the 71% goes, they buy from you if they like you, but 71% don't buy from you if they don't like you. There's a lot of stuff that you think about, but you don't realize how important it actually is.
It's all extremely important. So we got to get our minds right. Let's get the lot. Let's put the gorilla up today. Let's put some signs out. Let's make it look like we have something going on today. Again, let's have some enthusiasm when the customers come in. Let's be excited with them. Let's follow our process. Let's dot all of our I's, cross all of our T's, and let's make today fun. Let's make it fun. So, Mark, you got anything? Anything? Steve? Let's go.
Rock and roll.